welcome back to the channel everyone. We are here to look at Ultimate Hunting once again. This game is still in development, and just to provide everyone with an update, they are still working on the gameplay demo. Now this isn't a guarantee, but Raph did mention once they get done with the gameplay demo, there might be a possibility for the community to see that. Since the devs are nose down into their work, I really wouldn't expect to hear much other than that until you see something new. And I am constantly checking the Discord and all their social medias to make sure that I stay in the loop. So if you want to see more content like this, make sure you're subscribed and hit the like button to blow this video up so it's more noticeable. Most of the information and the screenshots are going to be coming from the Ultimate Hunting Gear Guide, something that the devs have released to us over time, which is a little bit of information here and there about the game. I could see the in-game version of this being very helpful and a lot more in-depth than we do have now, so there's going to be a lot of information that may change, so try not to hold me too accountable for how accurate this is. It is all information that has been provided to us from the devs, and it is subject to change of course as the game progresses in development. Now to the topic in hand. We are going to be looking at 3 different categories of gear. That's going to be blinds, collars, and lures. They are all going to have their uses along the hunt, and in this video we're going to get into what they're providing and what we'll be able to use those gear selections for. Much like the last 2 videos, the animals of Africa and the animals of California, we are going to have a little bit of trivia to go over as well. Starting off the list, we have a waterfowl blind. It is the category of blinds, obviously. The capacity actually is up to 2 players, so in multiplayer you're going to be able to get 2 individuals in here. The colors are going to be various types of camo, so I'm assuming it's going to be like woodland, digital, and so on. Maybe like a grassland camo as well. The type is mobile, so you're going to be able to set this pretty much wherever you want, I would assume. And if you take a closer look, you can actually see what kind of spacing this is actually going to need by the squares on the ground there. The uses for this blind are going to be pretty clear. We're going to try and set this up so that we're not spooking animals by movement or by our scent. And really it's going to be used to be like set up in a hot spot wherever you've seen these animals before. And you're just going to want to get in there, set up, maybe pop some calls, and see if these animals come into whatever drink or feed zone they're in. And then probably, just take your shot. The trivia states this is just one of the in-game blinds designed for waterfowl hunting. And a properly selected camouflage allows hunters to stay undetected for animals. Waterfowl blinds allow players to shoot up in the air while being inside. There's a couple things that I kind of want to pick through on that trivia right there. It does sound like our camouflage for our blinds is going to matter. So if you pick a woodland color of camouflage in the grasslands, you might have a problem with being detected. Sounds like we're going to have a couple other blinds to use for waterfowl hunting as well. At the last sentence though, it says water blinds allow players to shoot up in the air while being inside. That makes me think that we're going to have other blinds such as like antelope blinds and things like that. Something with a cover on the top just to kind of conceal us even more so. They haven't released any information on anything like that though, so that's all speculation. The next piece of equipment we're going to get into is going to be a lure in the categories. The type is seed. It's going to attract mostly deer and antelope. The trivia in this one is also slightly revealing when it says the seed type bait among other decoys out there. That bit gets me thinking that we will have other like drake and hen decoys as well for waterfowl hunting. And I do believe at one point I seen a tom decoy on one of their socials, so I wouldn't be surprised if we get a couple decoys as well. The next piece of gear is actually quite unique. It is in the lures category. The type is just bait, and it attracts predators. On the image though, it does say blood with flesh, so it seems like it's a pretty gory pale of attractiveness here. The trivia says it's a plastic bucket filled with flesh, guts, liver, and all covered with blood, which is a delicious package for predators. Once opened and spread around, will make them smell a fake victim and move towards the attractant. Handle carefully and use wisely. Now thinking back to our animal list, there are a few predators that I would be very worried about, mostly the big cats, I guess I would say. I mean, it would make sense that it is going to attract predators like big cats, anything that has a prey, so to speak. And I really like that they added this in here. I don't think I've seen this before, and I know it's not in Way of the Hunter or Call of the Wild, so it's a unique feature. And this game is touting a lot of unique features, which is going to be my next video, so be on the lookout for that. It is going to be quite extensive, and I'm going to be looking to the community to make sure I confirm everything. So if you can, help me out with that if you see me in the Discord. Another lure that I know is going to be in here but hasn't really been spoken on is going to be the synthetic deer urine. The realism of all these lures and collars is really amazing and something that I'm pretty proud of them for doing, because I don't see many other companies doing this or even trying to do it. And with the size of the team and the depth they're trying to go, I think they deserve some mad kudos. For the next lure, we have the Cape Buffalo urine spray. Much like the deer spray, it's going to be a scent lure. It's going to attract the Cape Buffaloes. And then for the trivia, it says this spray imitates the scent of a Cape Buffalo female's urine that attracts this species' individuals. Make sure to control the wind conditions while using it. Again, this is so refreshing to hear right here in this last sentence. Make sure to control the wind conditions while using it, meaning the winds are going to play a huge factor in this. If you put this scent and the wind's going the other way, you're obviously not going to attract any of the species that you're looking for, and I think again that mechanic is just something special. The last few items on the list here are all going to be collars, so we're going to go ahead and jump right into it with the cow elk collar. Obviously collar, the sound type, sound collar. The attractive, it's going to be attracting the elk bulls, and the trivia go ahead and states that it's it's belonging to the in-game brand Hunt Tech, which is going to be the big brand of all like their apparel, all their hunting calls that aren't actually partnered with the company in the real world. But it states that this is actually going to imitate the sound of an estrus cow, so it's going to be more like the cow call. I don't know if you ever heard it, but if you haven't, check it out. It's kind of unique. I think all the elk sounds are really unique. They're kind of one of my favorite creatures to hunt just because of that. Most of these colors are going to be pretty small, except for like the elk bugle and stuff like that. It'll be a little bit bigger, so I'd assume you'll be able to carry more than one. Maybe you'll have to do like 2 gear slots for a bigger collar, but let's just keep it for 1 collar, 1 gear slot. Make it simple, right? The elk bugle tube is again a call, it's just a sound call, and it attracts to the elk. This type of call is not too handy for hunts due to its big size. That's why some hunters use a leash to have it hanging around their necks, as with hunt grunt call, the bugle call is also supposed to be used with a mouth call diaphragm. And it's because of this trivia that I mentioned the whole 2 gear slots thing. I was a little worried about it at first, thinking, oh, maybe this collar is going to take up more slots, but I think it's just going to be like a weight capacity thing, and I don't think collars are going to take up that much. Then following that one, of course, we're going to go ahead and do the elk grunt call. Call type sound is a decoy sound, and it attracts to the elk. The call imitates sounds of a mature bull. Generally it's supposed to be used along with the diaphragm calls, but this variant has a silicone overlay built in. This tube is quite big but handy and lightweight. Originally includes a camo cover on it. As an elk hunter, I'm really not sold on this whole 2 different collars or even 3 different collars idea. Really, with a diaphragm you can make any different type of call sound, especially if you have a grunt tube. It's pretty easy to make a cow, a grunt, and a bugle with just that. So I don't think that these 3 different ones are necessarily required, but maybe for the gameplay aspect it's just more reasonable. I'm not going to get too hung up on that, but it is something that kind of sticks out to me in particular. We are headed to the deer grunt call now. It is a call, obviously. Type is a decoy sound. It's going to attract bucks. The trivia says deer grunt calls are used by hunters to mimic the sound that deer make during the mating season. They are especially effective during the rut when bucks are actively seeking out does. Grunt calls are simple to use and can be powerful tools in the hand of an experienced hunter. Up next, we kind of have a unique collar here. It's the antelope call. It's a call type, right? The type is a sound decoy, but it attracts blue wildebeest, greater kudu, and pronghorn. Then it has a star over pronghorn, which is like pronghorns are not fully considered antelope, but this call should also bring their attention. So you got pronghorn and antelope in this call as well. The trivia says it's pretty simple to use. Grab the call and blow into the mouthpiece to replicate a snort sound. It reproduces well. It should stop antelopes in their tracks and potentially make them move closer to the user. So this color is the only color that's going to attract multiple different species so far, so this is going to be a handy tool to use. Then we have the boar squealer call. It's a call type. The type is sound decoy. It attracts boars, of course. This call imitates hogs squealing and has various outcomes on the species. They call each other when they find a source of nourishment, and this is when they can be fooled by the call. Sows, for example, may be attracted due to their maternal instincts. The call sound can be also misidentified by the males as sow noises, causing them to approach. That's probably the most in-depth I have ever heard or learned about a boar. So that's pretty interesting trivia right there. Get them when they're trying to go to their food source, and you'll be able to interrupt their social lingo, so to speak. There is going to be a predator call in here. It's going to do the sound as a decoy, you know. It attracts a couple different types of species, mainly fox and bears. The trivia says this blazing orange call is a perfect fit for those who seek predators on a hunt. It imitates cries and moans of a distressed rabbit, which will surely bring foxes, raccoons, or even bears around. So this color is another color that can attract multiple different types of species, and it's going to be hugely helpful on your hunt, especially if you want to attract foxes, bears, and raccoons. That's pretty awesome that they've added this in here just to kind of give you a helping hand for those critters. Next, we're going to be getting into the bird calls, and I think we're going to go ahead and start off with a turkey locator call. Obviously it's a call, it's a sound decoy. It attracts turkeys. And then the trivia is, unlike the other callers, this turkey locator call will just help you find out if there's any of those species around. If it's performed correctly, it should encourage that species to respond. I really like doing these locator calls in general, just for elk, bear, and all that. If you can pop a call and then hear them respond, it's going to be a way better hunt just from that. Knowing something is in the area versus thinking something is in the area is a completely different mindset to be in when you are hunting. For the first duck call, we have the wood duck call. It's a call, it's sound decoy again, and then it attracts wood ducks. For the trivia, it does say it's a classic genre, high quality wood duck call. Its woodwork does give it a great depth and rich sound. Its shape provides a very good grip, and on top of that, the call is very light. No duck can resist this sound as it is perfectly imitating them. The next duck caller is going to be much like the first, except for it's going to attract mallard ducks, and then the trivia says it's another great product from Hunt Tech. The duck collar is made of durable plastic material, and it is a great addition to every duck hunt you will embark on. The last collar in the guide is going to be the pheasant call. It is a sound decoy. It attracts pheasants, of course, and then the trivia says it is perfect for localizing and startling pheasants. It's made of hard wood for better efficiency, and no practice is needed. Pretty easy to use from the get-go. Fingers are crossed tightly that these calls have some amazing sounds, and hopefully the team is researching that fairly well to give us a great product. Now, it has been a minute since we've heard from Ultimate Hunting, and they are hard at work, so it makes sense. We are going to keep the hype train going though by looking over all of this information they have provided with us as a proof of concept for this game. In the meantime, if you are looking for a good hunt, Way of the Hunter is an amazing game, and it is just announced that it is going to be releasing an Africa map called Tika Moon Plains. They are not going to have the same species as Ultimate Hunter, so I definitely think that this is a viable game to pick up if you want to hunt on the African continent. You will definitely be able to find myself on that map, as I will be making videos and live streaming here in the near future. With that, I hope this video helps keep you inspired and patient for this upcoming release. I really wouldn't be surprised if we hear something this year about an official release day. But as always here on the channel, have a good day.